Hello, everybody. Good to see you again after a couple of weeks off. We're excited to be back. Welcome to another episode of Honor Among Thieves. My name is Hayden. I will be your judge tonight. And you may immediately notice that we are joined again by a slightly different bench than usual. We'll get through everybody in a second, but I'll just lead off, tell you real quick, because you must be wondering, who's this guy who's just talking to me about stuff? Well, I'm Hayden. I am a logistics aide for Gaming Honors. Always happy to be helping out with the fun projects we got going on. I have done a lot of things with this company, helping run the booth, running games. Used to play wizards and clerics who had all kinds of issues, and now I'm here tonight playing four peasants, a squire, a woodcutter, and a couple grave diggers. But enough about me, right? It's not just me here. We're joined by many, many people. So, Martin, why don't you tell us who you are?
I've come to realize after like 2.5 years of doing this show that this is the hardest part of the program for me. Like, I just cannot do this well. I am Martin, and I am the lead. Thank you. Talk me through
So
it.
far, so good, Martin.
Yes, I see a runway. I'm the lead writer for Gaming Honors. I'm also the author of Oh Happy Dagger, which is our current project, which brings us all together here this evening. And you will often see me at the booth at Gen Con and also running games in the Goodman Games Stadium Arena. And
I think we should rename it the Goodman Games Arena.
Oh, that's right.
I mean,
yeah, what else happens there? Nothing. I
know.
think we should rename it Goodman Games Arena. And also tonight, after we have our first part of the show, I will be taking Lance and Hayden shorthanded through their funnel on the Purple Planet. Castaways on the Purple Planet.
I'm sure every peasant will survive.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Lance, tell us about yourself.
Oh, I'm Lance. I'm one of the original Gaming Honors guys. I'm an illustrator, would-be author with a lot of help from Martin, my executive editor, and a booth jockey, and mostly run a lot of games. Love to play test, love to run games, and part of the Goodman Games road crew.
Yes. All right. And Andrea.
Well, thank you, Hayden. I'm Andrea. I'm the CEO of Gaming Honors, and I am a gamer adjacent person. In that I don't play, but I love you all very, very much.
Yeah.
But you can see me at the booth at Gen Con. I do love to sell things to you. And
you'll see that tonight, likely, also.
I get to hang out with this guy all the time.
And we are slowly wearing her down. I've been with her over 25 years, and last month
it is not 25 years
together.
Oh, okay,
more
together.
than, yeah,
all right.
come on,
not just
yeah.
all right.
My life began when I met you. Anyway, a month ago, she rolled up peasants on this program. So I feel like give me another 25 years, she'll be rocking a third level wizard.
With all that schlop there, Martin, I think that you missed the Valentine's episode was a couple weeks ago. A little late.
Man.
Late to the ball game, buddy.
Every day is Valentine's.
All right, so I'm going to put a stop to this because we need to move on to meeting our special guests. So we're joined tonight by two guests. I'll start off. Ed Stanek is here with us tonight. Ed, why don't you introduce yourself, talk a little bit about Reorgan Games and what you have coming to the Purple Planet.
Sure. So I'm Ed Stanek of Reorgan Games. So a large portion of the books that I've put out are oriented around my campaign world, the Pax Select Squad campaign world. However, I have various other supplements like Comic Crawl and got a few things coming out this year that are a bit more environment agnostic. And in the scope of Purple Planet, my adventure. So we did each of the contributors targeted a different level range with their adventure. Mine was I did the 4th level adventure, 4 to 5. It's called Memories of the Purple Planet. You may go into it or hold that for later.
We'll hold that for later. We're going to
Got
talk
it.
a lot about Purple Planet in a bit.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, wonderful to have you with us. Thanks for taking the time to be on our live stream. And then Tim Sattley from TSG and High Dive Games is also here. Tim, introduce yourself. Good to see you.
Hi. Good to see you too. Tim Sattley, third-party publisher. I've actually in the past have written only Mutant Crawl Classics adventures and content, and I thought it was really kind of interesting when Joseph reached out and asked me to be a part of the Purple Planet Horde. And as you go through the Purple Planet, you kind of realize that it is a perfect setting to do a mashup with regular DC combined with MCC. If that's, you can do DCC or MCC or however you want to do it, but putting the two of them together in this setting works really well for that. So yeah, so I've created something for this, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's who I am. Thank you.
Tim, can you tell us the name of some of your MCC titles?
Sure. So let's see. First one was Tribal Games, which is pretty much like the Olympics for Mutant Crawl Classics. Then there was Get Me the Juice, which is a first level adventure. I wrote one called Badass Bunnies. That is a reverse adventure where you play the monster trying to thwart a group of zeros on their funnel. And then the last one I put out was just in time for Halloween, was a horror MCC adventure called Horror at the Merc.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
I might play Badass Bunnies.
Yeah,
You live it.
you know what? I played that one, well, play testing a bunch of times, but played it at Gary Con with a table that had, it was half adults, half kids, and it was hilarious. The kids were just a riot during it.
And I should tell you, Ed, it occurs to me we did a So You Think You're a Peasant episode once where I used Comic Crawl Classics, and I think, didn't I pull Police Officer
That
and
sounds
almost
right.
got us banned from the stream because of
Yeah,
course
that was not a great thing to pull.
There were lots of questions immediately about what we should present.
Yeah.
Why does everyone have handcuffs in their house? What the heck's going on here?
That was the least of our concerns.
But Lance, you have some really great sunglasses. We found.
Oh yeah, oh yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
you won that episode.
I think so. Yeah.
my sweet aviators.
Yeah,
Yes.
you won that episode.
They were $1.99 at a gas station.
$1.99 spent on a pallet of filth. You just didn't know it yet.
I didn't know that was what you can get for your money these days.
That's right. For our non-longtime viewers, the pallet of filth is the beautiful trophy that you win for playing So You Think You're a Peasant on some of our other streams. Check out those if you want to see who our winners tend to be. Alrighty. Well, so grateful, Ed and Tim, to have both of you here. And we can just go ahead and roll right into our next segment where we're going to really start diving into the meat and potatoes of what's out right now. That is going to be us talking about I Scry with My Little Eye.
I scry with my little eye.
Alrighty. Hey, everybody. And it's been super exciting to see the progress on the Purple Planet. I mean, the main adventures on the Purple Planet BackerKit project has over 1,500 backers at this point. I've been loving to just see all the projects continue to truck along. Ed, why don't we kick things off and talk a little bit about Memories of the Purple Planet?
Sure, yeah. So the approach that I wanted to take, in case there are people who aren't particularly familiar, there are in the official Purple Planet material, there's two houses or clans, however you want to call them, that are highlighted, tribes, clans, and of Kith hordes, and for each of those houses, their leaders, the Ascended Masters, they took a different approach in terms of they could tell that the planet was dying, that the sun was killing everything, and so they each took a different approach in terms of how they were going to try to beat the system, so to speak. And so my starting premise was, well, let's suppose that some other house took a very different approach and tried to come up with their own way to save themselves. And the Kith people being what they are, it all went horribly wrong. They killed each other because, nobody could cooperate and get along in their little project. And so now the party gets to do little architectural archaeological spelunking into the remains of House Yucca and try to figure out what exactly was this house doing, and their means to save themselves. Could it be something that could save the party as well?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fantastic. It sounds fun to try to unravel how the party could save themselves by also unraveling how this other society thought they could save themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Ed, remind us, what level is your adventure?
4 to 5.
Wow. Okay.
Wonderful. How
Ed, do you find the math? So I'm quickly
yeah.
interject. What, like doing a 4 to 5 level, that for DCC and MCC, that is like, is that mathematically challenging for you? Because boy, getting encounter balance seems so tough at that high level.
So I have an event that I run at Gen Con and Origins called Getting the Band Back Together. That is an 8th level adventure for DCC. So,
So you're experienced.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like game balance mechanics has always been something that I feel like has come fairly easily for me, and so I felt fairly confident taking the highest level out of the Horde collection of adventures.
Well, I give you the utmost respect, because that's something for us. That can be tough.
Yeah, I think one of the only times we ever got that high was our campaign on this stream, and that was kind of manufactured because in the lower levels, I'm gonna peek behind the curtain. It's over now. In the lower levels, it was just to show the results of critical hits and critical misses, right? Like we weren't running the campaigns legit until really you guys got to about 4th level. And after that, we started running it exactly as the dice fell. And that's when, to be clear, Randy kicked the bucket. So it's not like I wasn't holding back. But yeah, the PCs are so strong. As they get to those higher level, the PCs are really strong.
Now, I will say that I think in the Purple Planet context specifically, the odds of characters making it to 4th level are substantially less than in a typical DCC setting, and so somebody might have to just make up 4th level characters if they really wanted to play this. But that could that you could just see that as a one-off kind of thing if you wanted to take that approach.
Yeah, I don't, so Hayden and Lance are experiencing the Purple Planet for the first time, and Tim and Ed, we could talk about this kind of offline, but no, I think I alluded to this, guys, last episode. You're gonna feel the effects today. The sun tries to kill you. I mean, just existing on the Purple Planet, unless you're a native.
It's kind of like Earth.
You just automatically lose stamina points every day.
Yeah, it's automatic.
Fine. I've got 1 hit point on one of these guys. He'll be fine.
In some ways, he's maybe better off because he can't drop below 1. So he'll just keep getting weaker. He'll just keep getting weaker and weaker, pulling himself along the sand.
I hope so.
Gives you a real incentive to try to get a couple of Kith characters into your stories.
That's right.
Yeah. So, Ed, having worked on things like PAX Lex before, how was it to kind of switch over and start working on something with, the kind of the zaniness and the intensity of the Purple Planet instead?
Well, I think the weirdest part about it was just working in the context of so many different creators. I mean, the Purple Planet environment is definitely something very different that you have to take into account. But I mean, I've been running games since 1980, so I've kind of run across all kinds of environments. But and it's not that we were working on the same adventure together or the same project together, but nevertheless, there were things that we had to coordinate and things that we had to be on a common understanding about. And every once in a while, we'd have to get together to discuss, hey, is everyone interpreting this the same way? You know, hey, what about this stretch goal? What does it mean? And so that, to me, that was the part that stood out the most as being different from what I was used to.
Yeah, very solid. And I wanted to ask you, just since we got you here on the stream, I know that you dropped a lot of exciting hints as to what people can expect in Memories of the Purple Planet on its BackerKit page, which people should go check out, by the way, if you haven't already checked out the Purple Planet Horde. Tons of awesome adventures in there. Give it a look. And there's a lot of cross-project stretch goals that have already been unlocked, so you are getting a good deal for any of the projects that you back. But Ed, you capstoned it by saying that there was going to be a potential twist at the end that could change everything about players' experience with the game. Am I wasting my breath in asking you if you can give us any little hints or morsels about
You
what that
know,
might be?
I would hate to give a spoiler for anyone who's going to play it because it really would make the game an entirely different game. I can certainly tell you offline after after we go off the air. I will say that I give an option at the end if the judge is not quite ready to take the game in that different of a direction. I mean, now you're already playing Purple Planet. So, I mean, at that point, the judge should be ready for absolutely anything.
Yeah.
But if they're not particularly prepared for it to go in this direction, I say, you know, all you got to do is change the status of this one thing, and then that just simply won't happen. And a more conventional ending can come about, which can bring the players with some additional work back to their home, which is part of the premise of the Purple Planet adventures in general. Is the parties are typically trying to get back to their home world from the Purple Planet. So I give the judge an out if they're not quite prepared for it, but
Sure.
I don't want to give a spoiler for the players.
No, absolutely. Respect that very much. Thanks for sharing any relevant information with us. And you know, I don't understand. You're saying this like people wouldn't be excited to live on a planet where the environment itself is trying to kill them every single day. It sounds
You're right.
really...
Now I could totally picture though a party deciding, no, we're going to take over the Purple Planet.
Sure.
You know, because I've played with players like that. So, and they would come up with a way to figure it out.
Knowing our group, I feel like we would inevitably have one or two characters feeling like that, and then the rest of the party would have to beat that sentiment out of them.
What are you talking about? I call that ambition.
Hayden, can I just compliment you before we go on? Like that was a really sort of Barbara Walter 60-minute crossfire kind of trying to get Ed to sort of spill on the conclusion. I mean, really, I felt like I was watching cable TV for a moment. So
At this point, Senator, I can neither confirm nor deny the rumors.
He tried to get that scoop.
Martin,
you heard it first here on Honor Among Thieves.
I did public address speech events in high school for 4 years. I gotta spend all of that talent somewhere. That's oil that there aren't many places to burn. All right. Well, Ed, super excited to see Memories of the Purple Planet when it finally drops. Tim, let's go ahead and pivot over, and we're gonna start talking about. Oh, sorry, I got my thing thrown off here. Right, okay. So, Random Acts of Violet. How has your journey of development been? Tell us about Random Acts of Violet.
So let's talk. If you want to talk about the journey, it has been anything but a straight line. So originally thinking about what this is going to be and what I wanted to create, I started putting some stuff together, and then early on in the process, Joseph had a meeting where all of us creators got together and had a conversation about who was doing what and who was, and kind of things were going. And I literally like all of a sudden went off in a total different direction and completely redid a bunch of, even though I did some play testing, okay, I'll keep doing that. But what ended up happening was it morphed into it started off as a first level adventure. Okay. And I'll tell you the reason why I went first level adventure is I was one where I was always frustrated playing Purple Planet because you would play Escape from the Purple Planet, which is the first level, level 0 funnel. And at the end, you find, I'm not gonna give away the ending, but you end up leaving. And I'm like, wait a second. I just read about the kith. I had learned all this new system. I learned about all these cool things going on there. Now I have to leave. I don't want to do that. So what I ended up creating was a first level adventure called Cavern of the Purple People Eaters. And Random Acts of Violence actually turned into the other part, which is I created an entire setting area upon the Purple Planet that is kind of toned down a little bit, because anybody who doesn't know, the Purple Planet is designed for players that are characters that are level 5 and above. And level 1, 2 characters, they're not going to last. It just, I mean, their first encounter, they're all dead. It's the way it's going to be.
You're
So,
bumming me
you know,
out right
what
now, Tim. We're playing this later.
Yeah, well, so what ends up happening is, well, let me ask you this. What does a shark do when a baby shark, when they're born? Do they swim around the ocean waiting to eat? No, they go into the mangroves, this little protected area where they can kind of learn how to catch things, learn how to survive. So what I did was create a violet area of the Purple Planet where everything is, some areas are a little tougher, some areas are a little easier, and it's got its own
Nursery
little,
school.
you know, microclimate, so that that players can go in there, and if they're smart, they'll spend a little bit of time hex crawling around there, and until they get a little experience, and then they move on. So
Like a nursery school, elementary school type mangrove.
That makes it sound so warm fuzzy.
yeah,
What kind of
not quite
Violent-
that fuzzy, but you know.
I
aggravated
see
nursery school did you
Timmy
go
and
to?
Eddie and Marty and
Now,
See, now I'm gonna have to come up with a new relic just for that.
glad we
Gee,
could
what is
provide
this
some
strange
inspiration.
looking mirror thing that you can see through that has ruins on it?
what do you think the traction of this romper room reference is? Possibly.
And to be clear, I mean, Andrea is
Yeah.
speaking from experience. When our kids were little, we just put them in a mangrove and said, "Stay here, kids, until you figure some crap out." And
Don't
then,
look at the sun.
and yeah, stay out of the sun. Just stay out of the sun.
We'll be back in a few years.
Yeah.
And they came back hardened and ready to learn.
That's right. That's right.
There you go. Hey, you got to toughen up somehow, right?
That's right.
Precisely. So, Tim, in addition to, I think, quoting the great Billy Mays in your write-out for your project, was I
Yeah.
correct in seeing that you also
Yes.
have like 3 different drop-in adventures at this point for it?
Ooh.
So yeah, so this thing is, I talk about project creep. It is just it's just a ton of content I'm throwing out there. So you've got a first level adventure. You've got what I created called What the Hex, which is everything is in groups of 6 relics, 6 monsters, 6 ways to add new characters when your character dies, 6 hex things for this area, 6 encounters for this area. So I've created all that. But one of the other things is I was talking with some of my friends who were like, this is really cool. I wish I could be part of the Horde and I could, do some stuff there. And I was like, well, why don't you do a stretch goal and do a drop-in adventure? So I've got Steven Surratt and I've got Father Goose, Jeremy Schumann, who have each done a drop-in adventure, which have both been unlocked. So Jeremy, Stephens is one where it's a great setup from leaving for a way to get people into this area and into the beginning of the adventure. Whereas Jeremy actually created a whole new race of a playable character and an adventure to go along with it. So that's all stretch goal content. That's all been unlocked.
Started with the first level adventure, ended up with a box set.
And Tim, is that going to be, is that stuff BackerKit is that BackerKit exclusive, or will that be available after the campaign, or do people need to make sure they jump on it right now?
Great question, because yes, all of the bonus content for everyone is just exclusive to the BackerKit. When this goes into distribution later on, the only thing people are, well, after the initial set, after that, you're only going to be able to get the zine itself or the adventure itself. None of the bonus drop-in adventures or any of that stuff. The rune lore, any of the stuff that we did there.
So they need to act now. Right now.
Yes, exactly.
do, everybody.
Exactly, right now.
Let's get those phones ringing.
If you haven't watched this, if you haven't gone to the Purple Planet Horde page yet and you're watching this stream, go to it as soon as the stream is over. But stick around for the next little while. And also, yeah, thank you,
There you
Murph, for gifting subs to Justice and Instant Charlie. Always love the chat engagement. All right, well, Tim, one last quick question. I'm just curious about, coming over from MCC. Did you get to take a lot of the kind of concepts and the inspiration from working on MCC stuff, and did you feel it was easy to fluidly integrate that into setting up some Purple Planet content?
Actually, I thought it was easier than I thought. Now, I've always run, like when I run a funnel on Purple Planet, I allow my players to choose zeros that are either DCC or MCC based zeros, or they can do a kith, or then Aaron's doing a robot zeros. So all of these, you're going to be able to mix and match your party however you want. But coming over from MCC, there's a similarity in that Mutant Crawl Classic. They're cavemen essentially. People live in villages that are wandering around finding laser guns and all these crazy artifacts from a past generation that kind of blew themselves up. Well, guess what? The Kith are finding the same things. The relics are similar, but they're just operated using the ruins that you have to pick the correct ones as opposed to rolling artifact checks and things like that. So conceptually, it marries over perfectly.
All right. Well, glad that it wasn't too hard to carry over some of those concepts. Also very excited to see Random Acts of Violet when it finally drops. So, Martin, I heard that you have some fun new stuff to talk about and show off for Oh Happy Dagger. What do we got going on?
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time because I really want to see if our guests have what it takes to be a Kith. But yes, I'll just say a little bit. Oh Happy Dagger is a second level adventure, and Ed already mentioned the kind of two houses that have been eternally at war. And so when I was invited to be part of this project and I saw that two houses concept, either blame my musical theater background or my literature background, I really thought of Romeo and Juliet. And so I wanted to have this kind of star-crossed lovers problem between two members of the houses who want to be together, and the party gets kind of wrapped up in it as a kind of escort adventure. They have to try and get one of these characters to the rendezvous point. And so what was fun about that is it gave me a chance to really, first of all, work in all kinds of fun Shakespeare references. There's a King Lear episode. There's a Macbeth Witches episode. There's a lot of stuff going on. But also we got to travel the Purple Planet. So one piece of art that we're showing tonight for the first time is by Colin Richards. And, you're crossing this wasteland, and suddenly in the distance, here comes a sort of dust cloud, and it's a stampede. And these are a new creature I created called the Bisalon. And they just sort of run all over the planet. And they've been doing this so long, they've almost become a single creature. Like their horns have grown together, and their hooves create electricity. So there's sort of sparks flying across their horns as they're sort of pummeling around the planet. And the time I've play tested it, it was very fun to watch the different attempts to sort of deal with this problem. Do you try and, I think we're going to dig, we'll dig, like to try and dig a hole I give him a luck check to see if there's a rock outcropping. Colin did a great art in his drawing of the party sort of leaping onto a cliff to try and get away from the Bisalon stampede. So, and that's just really what's so fun about the entire project, and what's so fun about the Purple Planet is that Harley has built this great world with so much variety, and Joseph and the team, they just basically told all of us, have fun. And as you've been hearing all night tonight, we each have had a chance to do something unique and new. So if you if you get the sort of core set that Goodman puts out, it's really super fun. There's lots in there. But the more of these Horde adventures you add, the richer the world gets, because we're all doing different things, whether that's new races or new houses of ascended masters, new relics. It's really a great variety of stuff.
So you're advising folks to get not only the core, but also
I think back them all. I say back them all,
That's
because
right.
this is your only chance to get that exclusive content.
and if you back 3, right? 3, you get 3
Yes.
3d6.
Yes. That was really yeah, Joseph, I mean, I don't know what you and Tim, what you and Ed think, but like his generosity in encouraging people to support these campaigns. So yeah, if you back 3 campaigns, you get 3d6, 3 6-sided Purple Planet themed dice. Like he's been really supportive of incentivizing people to support all their projects.
Now,
And,
a quick question. Did anyone here, were you guys part of the road crew where you got the 3 DCC D6, where the number 6, one of them is, they're black, red, and white. One of them it has a D, a C, and a C. So when you roll a 6, that's what you get.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got him. I got him right here.
They
Can you see him right there?
there you go.
Zoom in. Black, red, and white.
Yep, yeah.
That's awesome.
They gave those away to road crew judges who ran a certain number of games, and I'll tell you, it's 3d6, but I use those more than anything else. It's like those are my go-to. And now that we get the Purple Planet 3d6, I have a feeling they may get replaced.
Awesome.
Ooh.
All right. Well, Tim and Ed, it's been really cool to hear about your adventures so far. And we always love talking about Oh Happy Dagger for a second, but you can write about Kith. I think it's time for us and our audience to find out if you can become a Kith in our next segment, So You Think You're a Kith. Alrighty, everybody. This is the second and maybe the last time that we're going to be playing So You Think You're a Kith, so savor it. Savor it while you can. For anybody who is unfamiliar with this game, it's a spin on what we normally play on this stream, So You Think You're a Peasant, where I am going to roll on the Kith occupation table from the Purple Planet. I'm going to roll a d24, and we're going to get a Kith occupation. And that Kith occupation is going to have a equipment, and I need you to go and find me the best fill-in you can for that equipment in 2 minutes or less. And then when everybody's back, we're going to go through the items one by one and hear you make your case before the audience votes on their favorite. Good on the rules? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, let's get the die
Fantastic.
rolling. And then I am excited to see the scramble. All right. Unlucky number 13. You are all Kith rebels, and I need you to bring me a week's worth of mushroom rations.
All
2
right.
minutes, go! Oh. Just confirming, are we still good with the video change thing?
Yep.
Are we down now? Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Well, that is a very interesting one. I think that any of our gardeners in the group are going to have a way easier time than the rest. You know, everybody, I'm really sad that I couldn't play So You Think You're a Kith tonight. I spent most of my afternoon failing to bake a cheesecake, and I was so excited to present my disgusting, monstrous attempt at a cheesecake, regardless on what the actual trade good was. because if you know me, you know I like to reach. Oh man. 30
Woohoo!
seconds. Oh wow. All right,
Yes.
Martin. All right, Martin.
I'm a fun guy.
I was just telling the viewers that I wished I could play tonight so that I could have had any reason to show them my disgusting failed attempt at making a cheesecake. And that's what I spent my afternoon doing. It looks kind of like a mushroom, I have to say. The way it poofed out of the top of the pan, it would have been, I'm telling you, it would have been perfect. You got to believe me.
You need to have a growth mindset here, Hayden. So you might have failed this time, but your next cheesecake will be even better.
That's right. All right, we got Ed.
Just keep on making them.
So you think you're a cheesecake baker? Okay, I think we have the whole crew's back already. That was great. Definitely in under 2 minutes. So congratulations, everybody. I am going to just work down the list as I see people on my Zoom feed. So, Martin, I think you were back first. Show us your mushroom rations.
Okay, there's a week's worth, right?
That's correct.
So here's the trick. I mean, you can have a mushroom, and imagine if you had to have a week's worth of mushrooms, how much space this would take. No self-respecting kith could carry a week's worth of mushrooms like this. So our horde has come up with a solution. It's bouillon. You have to reduce the mushroom down to a powder substance that when you add it to liquid, you have a week's worth of mushroom rations.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like gold.
Bam!
Scrumptious. Delicious. Andrea, beat that.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, well, so I need to tell you that I made a mess of everything that you put away.
Great. Thank you for
Get through
that.
the
I
leftover.
have to find this.
That's corn.
Or a Pokemon character, maybe.
Are you gonna eat that guy? Look at him. He doesn't-
Brutal kith warrior.
I thought Jack had a mushroom thing,
No.
but this is sort of mushroom-like. And
It's mushroom adjacent.
Oh, you have a new title.
Oh, well, consuming that cute little guy is befitting of the savagery of the Purple Planet, huh? All right, Ed, please show up these two despite their experience in this game.
All right, so when you're on the Purple Planet, your concept of what constitutes a week's worth of ration is a little bit different than some other places. Maybe one significant size mushroom, that's what you're going to hope for. But beyond that, if you have 2 whole mushrooms, you're going to eat like a Kith Lord. You're going to eat like an ascended master. It's almost like you went to Kith Mart and just got served up the meal of your dreams. That's like 2 weeks worth of rations on the Purple Planet.
That's right.
You got that on a Purple Light special.
That's right.
Kithmart is one of my favorite locations in this setting. Always good deals.
Is that another drop-in encounter?
To the kith mark.
That was the secret Ultimate Cross Project stretch goal.
That's going to be when you overlap X-Crawl and Purple Planet.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the Kith Mart.
All right, well, Ed, you're looking well fed with that meal. Lance,
Dice Station Zebra says there's no way to cap that submission.
Oh,
people are on fire tonight.
I was thinking at least they were portable or portobello.
Yeah.
oh, Tim, you're invited back.
Your pun game is immaculate.
It's just a lot of shiitake. I can sneak that in. That's a produce item.
Heads up, there's a show on after us tonight, so let's keep the puns down.
All righty. Well, Lance, what do you got? How many weeks worth of mushrooms did you bring to the party?
Well, this has special sentimental value because in 1979, early in 79, when I was only still 8 or 9 years old, my Uncle Mark and Greg, who were only 4 and 5 years older than me, brought the Holmes Basic set to my house and taught me Dungeons and Dragons. They came from Kentucky, and that's when there was no dice. They had a dice shortage, and they just had the chits. But my Uncle Mark still takes care of me, and he came by, I don't know, 10 years ago, and on the way stopped at a garage sale and said that he bought me the ugliest item that he had ever seen. And he bought me this. And it took me years to figure out what it was, but now that I look at it, it's a Purple Planet mushroom ration. This is 1 week
That's
of Purple Planet mushroom right here, and I'm sticking with that.
Is it stale?
God, you might bust out a few teeth trying to eat through it.
That makes it more filling, though.
I guess.
That was
So
like
that's-
that
that's
was
all I
some
got.
child's careful art project for their parents. That's
Actually-
probably
actually,
a
what it
Mother's
truly
Day
is
pencil
a-
holder.
I think once upon a time, it was a whiskey-filled German pipe. I think it was filled with schnapps, from what I can tell. But as far as tonight's concerned, it's a mushroom.
Anything's a mushroom ration if you believe hard enough. Yeah, Murphers. See, it's a petrified mushroom.
Petrified mushrooms.
Thank you, Murph.
Those cosmic rays in the Purple Planet can do some serious petrification.
That's right. All right.
You just have to rehydrate it.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a dehydrated mushroom.
Throw a
Ration.
little water on there, just like Martin's can of dust.
That's right.
Hydration. Boom. All right, Tim, close us out. The final mushroom.
So I know part of the game is to find something to creatively come up with a way to fulfill it. So I initially thought I'd tighten my belt a little, and I had a nice mushroom top that would last me for more than a week. But instead, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get the most obvious thing and be completely weak with what I got, which is mushrooms. I know it's weak, but it's
A lot
a
of
week
fungus
worth
eaters
of
here.
mushrooms.
I was gonna
Ration.
say the fact that 2 of you actually have mushrooms in your house is really
You
oh, but this is fake.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, where did you get it?
That's I thought that was a real one.
No,
I
didn't
this is a prop mushroom.
Where did we have?
I thought you did the same thing as me, just went like this.
No. I have a lot of secrets.
I'm just glad that nobody showed a mushroom that would get the DEA at their house, knowing the
I was gonna say the
normal
legal
after
mushrooms.
this house. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
all
did
right.
pretty good there,
Well,
guys.
It depends on what state you're broadcasting from.
There you go.
That's right.
I was curious if any soul would be brave enough to take that angle.
Well,
Seems
Kate's
that-
not on.
Yeah, Kate's not on. Kate in Colorado,
a-
not with us.
No, Kate is totally Kith. There's no doubt.
Well, because our regular "so you think you are a insert thing here" winner, guys, it's time to vote. Audience, tell us who you think had the most convincing week's worth of mushroom rations.
Yeah, and Tim, you are welcome to vote for yourself, like I'm about to do. not. But it is
sure,
not
Mark.
showing up. I'm still coming in at 0%. Come on. Oh no.
I'll vote for you, honey.
Oh. Andrea,
Oh,
I think
does that
I
mean
think
you're Martin
Costco has your
adjacent?
back.
Ed's
Oh.
trailblazing right now with the
Yeah.
omega
Oh,
size
but look at that.
mushrooms. Oh, yep.
Ed,
Oh my gosh, it's a tight one.
Tim and Lance are catching up a bit. We got a few more seconds. Andrea, I think your son's going to be angry that you proposed eating his friend. All right. And with a clear lead, Ed is our victor. Ed, congratulations. You are a Kith.
hey.
I don't have to eat this thing now, do I?
Ah,
What does the palette of filth look like on the Purple Planet? Is it like a palette of purple dust, or what is it?
I think it's the skulls of your enemies.
I love it.
That's right.
That is the
Ed-
right answer.
Ed, if you're excited to eat your rations right now, that is totally up to you.
I'll pass, thanks. These weren't mine.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Whoever
eat
they
mushrooms.
Whoever they belong to, I hope they enjoy them. All right, guys. Well, with that, I really appreciate all the exciting stuff we've got to hear about all the adventures coming up with the Purple Planet Horde. Everybody, I think you have 9 more days to check out the page. But don't wait. Just check it out right after this show and back all of the projects and read through all the awesome, exciting stuff that you can get shipped to you from all of these amazing creators. But for the time being, it is time for us to see who is going to survive the end of tonight in our last segment with our special guests, which is Roll the Body. I have in my hand a 20-sided die, and today is the 25th of February. I am going to roll this 20-sided die and subtract what I get from 25, and then all of our guests tonight have to roll a luck check, and they have to roll under that number to survive as they try to roll the body. Are we all ready?
Ready?
Yes.
Here we go!
I go on Purple Planet or Purple
Whoa,
Sorcerer.
nice.
The
Right,
app.
Tim.
Roll funky dice.
Roll funky dice. Great project.
All right, everybody, you may have a chance. I rolled a 15, so you have to roll under a 10. Who
Under a 10.
is surviving their luck check under a 10?
I got a natural 20.
Seven.
Time to use it. Not the time to use it there, gamer adjacent.
Lucky 7.
All
I got
right,
an 8.
Ed's good.
8,
Tim, 2,
2.
you're good. Lance is good.
8.
Martin with a 5.
Just
Oh,
Andrea.
the gamer adjacent falls. No. Well, sorry,
I don't
and
play.
that's, you know what? That's fair. I can't fault you. on
You
that.
are now alive, adjacent.
Like a zombie.
All right. Well, thank you, Ed. Thank you, Tim, for joining us. Also, Andrea, I know you're taking off, so as always, thank you for
I'm
being
gonna
there.
stay and help Martin.
You are? Okay, fantastic. All right, well, everybody, we're going to take a brief break now to transition over to our play segment for the last little bit of the stream. Ed and Tim, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for talking about your projects. We wish you the best. We're excited to see how many more backers they can get before the end. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming.
Cast away on the purple planet, cast away.
Welcome back to the Purple Planet. Last episode, the simple folk, the simple peasant folk of what was the name of your village, Hayden?
I don't remember, but there are a lot of grave diggers in it.
That's right. I think it was called Skullville. The simple peasant folk of Skullville were awakened in the night by raiders, and they found themselves on a ship bound for nowhere. And suddenly there was screaming and rocking and crashing and crying, and they found themselves shipwrecked on a strange island. They stumbled out of the ship and they saw a large lake of gray, slimy water. Up the beach, there was a huge jungle. I think it's a jungle. It looks so odd. And above, a purple sun, its rays beating down, almost like wind pushing against your skulls. And as you were kind of finding your bearing, 2 of your captors attacked you, and you were able to conquer them with only Joanne of the Fabric falling in the battle. And so we pick up, and please remind us, we pick up right where we left off. So you are standing just outside of the wreckage of a large schooner. I mean, it looks like an actual ship, but how it landed, how it happened to crash on this world, you don't know. There are a couple of bodies in front of you. You don't know what lies on the ship around you. First of all, Hayden, remind us of who you are playing tonight and let us know what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I have Ecclesius and Brutus Brickus, who are twin gravediggers. Uh, Tucker Allen, the very straight shooting woodcutter, and Leslie, the some would say overly noble squire. And Leslie is going to gesture his arm out to the entire group and exclaim, as he's bleeding from a wound he sustained during the fight, "We must stick together! Only with unity can we survive a place such as this." And meanwhile, Ecclesius is going to tell Brutus to start picking around to find useful things that they can just use as adventuring gear if he can find anything.
Okay. And Lance, why don't you tell us who you are playing tonight?
So I've got Schnorri, who was a dwarven stonemason that used to make gravestones back in the village. You guys call him Shorty. I've got Tosh, who's a shaman from the village. I've got Mudge, who is a gravedigger. And I have this unfortunate note that must have come from the wreck that says Mudge has no stuff. So I do believe my stuff is all gone.
Oh, yes, because I did have you guys make that luck check to see if your stuff survived.
Yeah, so Mudge lost everything. And then I've got Floyd the Barber, who was also, so Floyd the Barber was injured in the crash, but don't worry, he's still rocking one solid hit point.
All right. Well, I will tell you that the two pirate sailors that you were able to conquer, who have this sort of bluish tinged skin, their body sort of bleeding this blue blood. Both of them were wielding cutlasses.
Ooh, so I can get Mudge can get himself a cutlass, huh?
Well, if the other 7 peasants feel like he should.
Well, he's also got 1 hit point. So does anyone want to argue with me about it? Because I'll take you on.
Leslie also has 1 hit point, and Leslie would love the other cutlass.
All right.
One per.
What's a cutlass good for, Martin?
A cutlass is actually good for 1d8.
Whoa!
Loving that. It beats my trowel.
All right, we've got 2 glass cannons ready to go with their cutlasses.
Yes.
And you are, and Hayden, you said that who's exploring the ship?
Brutus Brickus is currently exploring the ship.
Just Brutus.
Just Brutus, and you know what? Tucker is feeling helpful, so Tucker will assist Brutus.
Okay.
And I think that Tosh, our shaman, will explore the ship to see, this is a strange land. These are strange people. I want to take a religious look.
Leslie is consoling everybody else over the death of Joanne Fabrics.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, Brutus Brickus?
Brutus Brickus.
Brutus Brickus. You find, as you're climbing onto the deck of the ship, you find the body of the figure that had spoken to you, right? One figure had spoken to you, and you find him sort of collapsed, impaled by one of the rods on the tiller, on the wheel, right? It's like impaled over it. And you might remember he was wearing a silver kind of helmet. And you see that helmet is still on him. And looking at the helmet, you can see it is covered with strange runes. And Elena, if you want to show those to the viewers, you can see there are these what look like 8 runes in a circle on this helmet that he is wearing.
I see
Tosh
these
says,
runes.
"Oh, be careful. Those look like religious symbols."
What is Tosh's occupation?
He was a shaman.
Oh, shaman. Okay, yeah, he's very into it.
So Brutus is Brutus. He picks up he takes the helmet off of the guy's head.
Okay, so first of all, as soon as he grabs the helmet and tries to pick it up, the head lifts with it. Like somehow this helmet is really attached to his skull.
All right. Brutus
There's no chin strap. You can't figure, like,
right.
He tugs on it a few times and it's not coming off.
Okay, let me Brutus's intelligence is 4.
Great.
So he goes, and it's not jiggling loose?
No.
All right, well, he's going to grab the neck with one hand and the helmet with the other and try to pry him apart for a second. And if that's not working, then he's going to put it back down and let someone who is more capable of thinking try to figure this out.
Yeah, all I will say is as he's sort of like joggling, like it sounds like he's getting pretty rough with it. You do see a couple of beads of that purple blood start to kind of ooze down from the helmet.
Is it studded into his head?
Give me an intelligence check. I know that's going to be hard for you, but maybe
Tucker-
you'll roll well. You're studying it.
How about Tucker Allen makes the intelligence check? as
Okay,
he's
sure, Tucker.
observing-
Yeah.
So is that blood kind of like Rudy Giuliani?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, it could be hair dye or it could be blood.
An 11 is all we've got.
It's not that. I mean, yeah, he's studying it, and it does seem as though as he's looking, there are the runes, but there are also what look like small little studs in the helmet. And so he does wonder if somehow it is attached.
Okay. So, yeah, Tucker Allen, can I see that? Takes it away from Brutus, and he goes over to the shaman. He's like,
so he's dragging the body. I mean, you have to literally drag the body because the helmet is on the head.
Yeah, he's doing that. So he says, I think we need to pry these out. Do you have any suspicions about if this might explode if we do that?
So Tosh, who kept his equipment in the crash, I have a holy symbol. So Tosh takes my holy symbol from the village and I put it against the runes and I say, "Be gone, purple demon, be gone!"
So which rune, Lance? Like if you look at the picture, you can see that the runes kind of go in segments.
And there's 8 of them?
There are 8 of them.
You know what I would like to do for you, because this is a game of chance? I'm going to start at 12 o'clock, and I'm going to go not 12 o'clock, not the second one, third rune down.
Okay.
And I put my holy symbol on it, and I say, "Be gone, purple demon."
That's awesome. So that's rune 3. And for those of you who've never played Purple Planet before, this is a kind of common thing that'll happen in the game as you find these artifacts, and you'll have this sort of picture of these 8 runes. And the rune lore that we're all giving as exclusive stretch goals are sort of our descriptions in our universe of what these things do, because they are mysteries from the past. But I'll tell you, that is an incredibly lucky roll because, who is that shaman again? Tosh.
Yeah.
There's like a weird glow and a hum, and you hear a sort of sound, and it comes free. Like it comes free from his head, and you see just these little drops of blood from these different spots. But yeah, you're holding the helmet now.
All right, so Hayden, these 2 guys that are searching the ship with me, is there a quasi meat shield amongst them? Who wants the helmet?
Brutus.
Do you remember seeing the captain wearing this helmet? Do you remember what happened when you saw him wear it?
Who, me?
Any of you?
Oh, during the crash?
Yes. When he came to talk with you, do you remember what he did with his helmet?
Was it lit up?
Did he use it to force us to tell the truth?
Well, he used it to people broke in, the people walked in and you could not understand them.
Oh,
you remember, and you saw him reach for the helmet. You couldn't tell what he was doing, but he touched something and then he could speak and you understood him.
All right.
Just reminding you of that fact.
Thank you. So, Tosh would take the helmet for that purpose to be the talker, because my intelligence is more than 4.
Yes, and
okay.
When he comes back, if he comes back wearing the helmet, Leslie is going to raise a fuss about it, but no one besides Brutus really listens to Leslie, so we don't have to belabor that.
So I'll tell you, Satoshi, take the helmet, you put it on. I mean, it's just sort of resting on your head right now. So unless you tell me you're going to do other things, Right now, it's just kind of resting on your head.
Okay. So I think what Tosh would do is go back to rune 3, put the holy symbol up there, and say, "Give me knowledge" on rune 3.
There is a silence that echoes across the purple planet as nothing happens.
Okay.
And then Brutus goes, "What about this one?" And he pokes rune 4.
Yep, nothing happens. Although you see Tasha's head kind of go like this. Stop touching me! Stop touching me!
Sorry.
4 does nothing.
Okay. I mean, unless you tell him to stop, Brutus is just going to start poking all of them and seeing what happens to you.
Okay, I tell him, okay, if he starts to poke, I'm like, hey, start at the top and go around clockwise.
Okay.
All right. So yes, he starts poking around, and at the 8th one, so going around clockwise, at the 8th one,
The
there's
last, like 11 o'clock then, the last
yes,
one.
11 o'clock, you hear as these little screws start drilling into your skull.
That sounds great.
The pain is excruciating, but it's just enough to anchor in the bone, and so you actually, you don't lose any hit points from it, and yeah, it's kind of that rune is glowing.
Can I do I don't know, luck check, intelligence check? Did I remember seeing what rune the captain pressed when we couldn't understand the people?
No,
Okay.
it was you were chained, you couldn't tell.
Understood. Yep. So I'm not gonna. So he went all the way around. So every rune has been touched, and the 3rd one opened it, and the 8th one stuck it in my brain.
Yeah, and apparently turned it on. Like
Okay.
it glowed, and the helmet is kind of glowing a little bit too.
Okay, got it. I wrote it down.
So now Tucker Allen goes, "What if we press the first one again?" So Tucker Allen,
No, that's a block. Block on that one.
huh? But what if it does something extraordinary, like drill even deeper into your head?
That's exactly what I'm afraid of.
All right, well, if something crazy happens, you better start pressing buttons and hope that one of them saves us.
Yeah, and I do want to give me whoever's got your highest intelligence, give me that roll. Both of you can roll for your highest intelligence.
I got a 16.
Okay.
And I'm at a 10.
Okay, who got the 16, Hayden?
Tucker Allen.
So Tucker Allen is a little concerned. He was like, you notice that it was drilled into the guy's head, but it didn't seem like it was on. And so you're a little, you wonder if it's supposed to be constantly glowing.
Like the whole, in his mind, the whole thing should be constantly glowing.
It wasn't constantly glowing on the captain's, when the captain was wearing it, and it wasn't glowing when he walked in.
Right. Okay. Did
All right, so
did the button that he pressed glow when he clicked it?
Which one?
Like when he pressed the button to
yeah.
begin speaking our language, then it
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you think, Tosh?
I think that I'm arguing about other people staying away and don't press these buttons, and I think TA probably touches the top button anyways, just like you said. So
the top button doesn't do anything.
all right, let's go clockwise, baby.
Okay.
Skip number 3, because number 3 is going to take it off.
Okay, well, you know what? 3 actually, when you hit it the first time, I'm gonna say that it turns it off, but it doesn't unscrew.
Oh. All right, just start at the top and let's see what happens. If I die, I die.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you hit 3, and what 3 does, it powers down.
Oh, so 3 powers it. Try 3. See if it powers it up.
3 does not power it up.
Does 2 power it up? He started at 12.
You know which one powers it up.
8.
Right. Yes. You may want to take some notes. So
I did. I took notes, but I thought we pressed 8 again to see if it.
So 8 drilled it in and powered it up. I
yes,
think.
it did. Yep.
Oh,
It
so
did.
it is still lit, or it's still humming, or I.
No, because now you've hit 3 and that turned it off. Now
Oh,
you
so
can
do
hit,
8 again.
that turns it on.
Okay, so now let's just leave it like that.
Okay.
Okay, my point is, you don't know why the captain wouldn't have just left it on.
That's what
Maybe you don't want to just leave it on.
That's what I was wondering.
You-
Oh, intelligence. Well, okay, so TA. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
TA's the smart one. So we turn it off.
Right, because you're worried about the power supply.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not as smart as TA.
So TA is like, no. If he didn't have it on, you might just want to wear it and only activate it when you want to use it.
Yep, love it.
That's what you learn. And as you're on the deck, you also now find there is a chest that seems to be drilled into the deck. Like it's attached and fixed to the deck.
All right, check for traps.
Who's doing that?
No, I was teasing.
Oh.
We don't have thieves, I don't think.
You can always poke it.
Ooh. I got a razor. My barber has a razor.
That would be
Brutus hits
But
it.
that's probably a flat razor. Maybe I'll use the end of the cutlass. Do you have anything you want to try and fiddle with? Is it locked? Or is there a mechanism? Does it like
there does seem to be at least like what looks like a keyhole.
okay?
Mhm.
Hayden, do you have anything that you want to try and stick in there and see, or
Well, to start, Brutus is going to stand as far away as he can from it and whack it with a shovel.
okay?
All right. So Brutus, you stand far away, you whack it with a shovel. There's a echoing sound, and it pops open, and sort of pouring out of it is this sort of black slime, and it comes over the edge of it, and then suddenly these pseudopod-like things come to life, and you see multiple pseudopods forming into fists, and that's where we're going to pick it up for our next show.
Friends?
Yeah, they make a heart.
So
We
that
do
means
have 50 Best Adventures, I think, is on tonight in just about 20 minutes. So we want to make sure that we are out of the way in time for that. And if I'm being honest, I'm hoping that Kate and her peasants will be with you next episode.
Judging by our progress and learning how a helmet works, we'll need.
yeah. And just before we take off, so I think that there's only Tosh from my group is there, and only 2 of Hayden's are there.
Right, that's right.
The others are not present. I'm
They're
taking
sort of down. They're on the sand, sort of on the sand around the ship. That's right.
Join us next time for us screaming help and running backwards.
But they don't have to wait that long, because where else can they enjoy our company?
Oh, well, they could find us on Facebook at Honor Your Game.
And
you could you should subscribe to our email distribution list at gaminghonors.com.
or you can find us on Instagram at Gaming Honors RPG.
And if you haven't, please join our Discord. You can also come and chat. We can do a little after action analysis of this, or what do they call it when you decide why did a patient die? Like doctors have
Postmortem.
Yeah,
there's a
postmortem.
but there's also a thing that the doctors do just among each other to talk about what happened.
I thought that was drinking and laughing.
Oh, I hope not.
What
Anyway,
kind of doctors are you seeing?
Thank you, Elena, for putting the chat in there. So please do join us. Thank you all for watching. Oh, Hayden, this is your part.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I'm still in the mode. But
Right,
now-
no, yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight, and check out Oh Happy Dagger and the rest of the Purple Planet Horde on BackerKit and back all the projects because they're really freaking cool.
They are freaking cool.
All right,
good
thanks
night, everybody.
everybody. Good
everybody.
to see you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.